All right, guys. So the Apple event just passed. I figured I'd do my video afterwards and kind of give you guys what I think about the keynote and everything that they unveiled. After everyone else kind of put their video up and had time for that to circulate, I'm kind of looking at this as a little bit different. I know it's gonna be weird for a lot of people because you guys know that I don't use any Apple products. I just haven't really found a reason to switch over to the Apple ecosystem, and I'm much more comfortable with Android and Google's ecosystem. But I can tell you guys that I actually own one Apple device, and I'll show it to you guys. And that's right, I have one of these, which you guys probably haven't seen in a long time. And it still functions. I just lost the charger to it, so can't charge it up and show you guys. But yeah, I still have one of these. That's about as closest to an Apple ecosystem that I could be. It's right there. And yeah, so, but reason why I say that is because I'm emphasizing on the fact that here, all the biased crap, all the fanboy wars thinking and all that stuff is not present in this video, okay? I'm just gonna be a straight shooter to you guys because above everything, above all the bickering, I just love technology. I love to see where it's going, the advancements that happen, and I'm a big fan of it. So from my point of view, the event was pretty good. And the cool thing was, it's like, at my new job, I got to watch this event. I mean, my job is like a collection of nerds, okay? And we all geek out on this stuff, and it was really cool that they were like, hey, yeah, let's watch the Apple event. I know we're at work, but let's have some fun. And boom, it was on there. We were watching it. And I have to say, I was impressed. I was literally impressed. I'm going to tell you guys why. So let's start off with the Apple Watch Series 4, okay? I think the thing that made me impressed about it was the fact that it was geared more towards health concerns and whatnot. So the watch being everything that it can do already with added in features such as fall detection. So if you fall, the watch can detect if you actually fell down. So not like a little skip and bump, but an actual fall. And say if you fell and you got knocked out, the watch is smart enough to know that if it doesn't detect any movement from you at all, it will automatically make an emergency call on your behalf. And that's cool because if you're doing something by yourself and there's nobody around and you fall and hit your head, you're completely knocked out, it could lower the risks of any long-term damage by getting medical response people to you a lot quicker. And so the watch can do that for you, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. The other thing that the watch can do is actually really track your heart. Now I know that this has been featured in the Apple Watch as well as other fitness trackers and heart rate monitor wristwatches, but this one is a little bit different. You can actually take a full report. And so say you have to go to your doctor because you're having some complications, they found some complications with you regarding your heart, and they want to kind of replicate that and see what you're doing that's causing it. They don't have to put you on a treadmill to run. You can do that from home. Do your everyday routine, whether you do strenuous work in your home or you don't. You can replicate what's going on just by being in your home. Collect a report, and you can even send that report to your doctor so they can see. And I think that's very helpful. It makes diagnosing issues a lot faster. Less visits to your clinic, because if they needed you to replicate what's going on, they just ask you to go home and track it if you have a Series 4 Apple Watch, and track it, collect a report, send it, email it to your doctor, and they'll call you in for further testing if they need it. So that's actually really great. I think that's cool that they actually are paying attention to health, and we can see more things being added in the future. That's going to be beneficial for a lot of people. I personally would love a smartwatch that can actually detect your glucose levels for diabetics. That'd be actually great, right? I don't know how they would do it. Maybe like a needle that could actually stab you in the wrist and take a blood sample real quick. I don't know. That's wishful thinking. Who knows how they're going to do it? But that'd be cool to see that. So we have the iPhone XS and XS Max. Let me tell people the X stands for Roman numeral 10. Let's get that right already, okay? It's been a year. But the XS and XS Max came out, and it's cool because there's not a lot of difference between them. All right? They have the same processing chip, same processing power. And that's great. That's what I like to see. I like to see companies that will make cosmetic differences rather than internal specifications different. And so the fact that the XS and XS Max are pretty much the same in every aspect except for size is great, because you want to cater to your consumers. You have consumers with small hands, you have consumers with big hands, you have consumers who prefer a big screen, you have consumers that's wanting a small compact form factor, and they delivered. Apple delivered to its consumers, giving you two sizes, a regular and huge size. So difference between them, iPhone XS display, both displays are AMOLED, but the XS display is at a 5.8 inch, and then the XS Max is at a 6.5 inch. Of course, it still has that notch. Obviously, Apple is going to continue with that notch. No, they did not embed a fingerprint sensor in the screen to bring back Touch ID. They have Face ID, and Face ID has been revamped and is supposed to be faster and more accurate, as they say. So we'll see with all the review demos that come out within the next month or two. But then the other kicker there is that they released the iPhone XR. Now, the XS goes for about, I think, what, like $999 or $949, something like that. The XS Max goes for about $1,049. So, and that's just the base models, right? If you decide to step it up on your storage size, it's going to go for the XS Max. I think it maxes out at $1,500, just about, like, yeah, it's like $1,449, something like that. And the XS Max is, I think, at like $1,200, roughly about, or $1,300. Anyhow, basically, yeah, these are very expensive phones, right? And of course, there's people out there who could just throw money out like that. So we have the iPhone XR now, and it's cool because when you think about it, they all have the same processing chips. So they didn't really dumb down specs with the XR, even though it costs you only $749 at the base amount. $749. It's still kind of pricey, but I mean, with Apple, is anything ever really on a more budget side? Not really. The last one they had was like what, the iPhone 5C was the last time they ever attempted something like this, and it did fairly well. So they kind of brought that idea back. They didn't really dumb down a lot of specs. Difference is, you know, without having to go too technical here, that you will know is that one, it does not have 3D touch. Two, it is not using an AMOLED display like its two brothers. It's actually using an LCD display, which Apple's calling Liquid Retina. I don't know where they got that from, but still. And then the size. So it kind of sits in between its brothers. So the iPhone XS is at a 5.8 inch, the XR is at a 6.1 inch, and then the XS Max is at a 6.5 inch. So the XR kind of sits in between this as far as size of the phone, but they kind of made it interesting because now, I mean, like, they have coloring options for you guys, for those people who want to stand out. So there's a yellow, a coral red, or there'll be a product red version, there's a blue version. And yes, it does lack some of the things that the XS and XS Max has, but obviously the price point tells you that already. $749 tells you that. There is going to be some significant differences. And the back of the phone, lastly, does not have a dual camera lens back there. However, it can take portrait mode photos. And that's the cool thing about it. So while it does have a single camera on the back, that camera can do like what the Google Pixel 2 can do, which is take a portrait photo without the need of using two camera sensors. And that's cool. As a matter of fact, I think that's a little bit better than having to have two cameras on the back to get that kind of depth and feel. You can do it with a single camera, then your camera is speaking volumes. And so really, when it comes down to it, I gotta say that Apple kind of did listen to its consumers and take into consideration and cater to you guys. And so I can appreciate companies who actually do that. That's the thing that I want companies to do, is listen to its consumers. Of course, they talked a little bit about iOS 12, some of the things that they're going to change in it, which a lot of people are happy for. Those iPhone users who were a little bit ticked off from iOS 7 are now seeing the changes in iOS 12, are happy about it. Hey, little steps is better than no steps. But in all, I have to say, I was impressed by Apple's event, and I think it's great for iPhone users to have these options out there for you guys, especially the Series 4 watch. Now we just have to wait for Google on October 9th to release its hardware at its keynote. And I know people were like, oh my god, the Pixel 3 XL is going to have a notch, and all this stuff about trolling and leaving the phone and leaked photos. Listen, people, I don't like to deal with that kind of crap. That's like saying, like, you know which plank on a bridge is missing before you even cross the bridge. Let's just get to the bridge and cross it all together and then see what really is going on. Whether the Pixel 3 XL has a notch or it doesn't have a notch. Who cares? Let's just go into it with an open mind and see what's coming down the pike. So that's it for my video, guys. If you guys enjoyed what I had to say about Apple's event, and of course it's 4 devices that are released, you guys can let me know by smashing the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the event, and of course the 4 devices. Really love to know your guys' thoughts about that. And yeah, now we just gotta wait around for all the reviews and all that stuff to really see just how well these devices perform. But until then, talk to y'all later.